Hello to the Long to the Hop Cricket podcast listeners. If you're still there, it's been a long time, but we are back. But to be fair...
So no cricket, no pie.
Exactly.
What
well,
can we
was,
do?
you know, if you didn't interrupt me, I was just going to say, it's been the holiday season for about 3 months. So we take that off. You know, we've got to have a break. When you put as much work into something like we do, you've got to have a break sometimes.
The channel's dead. We need to revive it.
That's true. I mean, we've gained more subscribers
What's
not
those
doing
things?
it.
Or not, what's those things that you see at like village halls?
Eh?
They're like
Neighbourhood Watch? What are you talking about?
Like they're in a yellow box. They're like it's the shock thing. It's for people who have had like a stroke or something.
Oh, a stroke? Do you mean like one of the respirators?
Yeah,
it's not a respirator, but
we're attaching that to the channel.
Defibrillator. Yeah, that's it.
We're attaching that to the channel.
Nice. Yeah, get a
and then CPR, go back, and then a little thing. I've actually had first aid training.
Yeah, me too.
It's disappointing I didn't know the name of it. But then you go back and a little
They
machine.
don't train you to use them though.
Yeah. I got trained how to use a defibrillator.
Did you?
Yeah.
I got it, and you didn't get
Tried
to use it.
Tried it. Just
No,
a little laugh.
No, right. Today we're doing a preview of the first 20.
No,
Hang on, what's the first game we're playing against them?
It's a test match.
Brilliant. The first test match between England and West Indies.
Well, it's
we're
not
really
really,
doing
it's the
a
whole
preview.
tour.
We're doing
It's the whole tour, isn't it?
right. We're doing a preview of the whole tour, and we're doing a thing of the team.
You
the
out
England
Nick,
team.
bro? You're a bit rusty on the mic.
The England team
You're out
that
Nick.
they've picked. Not even the team, mate. The squad.
Mate, you've edged a few in the first few minutes. You have. Anyway, how are things with you?
I think we should do the test squad. No one really.
Well, that's what it says on the screen.
Yeah, but there's the ODI squad down there as well.
Yeah, no one cares about that.
Right, that's what I was just... If you stopped interrupting me, crying, I'd be able to get through a sentence and actually tell you what I was saying, rather than you going, where? Halfway through. Right. Let's get into it.
So do you want to just...
Capitan.
Do you want to run straight through the test team, or do you want to run through the
No, we'll do testing.
fixtures first? What do you want to do?
Testing. We need the team.
Unchanged from the Sri Lankan tour.
Okay,
Start
but we've
with.
forgotten.
Joe Root, do you know he plays for Yorkshire?
Yeah, nice. Good player.
So do you want me to run through them quickly? Or
I've forgotten who these guys are.
How would you like to do this? One by one, or just quickly, and then we'll talk about...
No, one by one, innit?
So Joe Root, and you want to talk about that?
He needs to bat at 3. He's not going to bat at 3.
No. Moeen Ali.
Shouldn't be in the team, but should be in the squad.
Oh, what does that mean?
As in, he shouldn't be getting picked.
Yeah, no, fair
but
enough.
he needs to go.
So, how does he... Yeah, could you expand on that? It's an interesting... Injury to a batsman or to a bowler, or is he
Either.
utility?
He's a good player. He's a good squad player.
Is he the Ashley Young?
He can play either high middle order,
Good manager,
or he can be our spinner.
Billing.
James Anderson. Does he still play? Isn't he injured? He's injured all the time.
No, he's fine. He's fine.
He's okay.
Yeah.
What do you think of James Anderson?
He only bowled like 3 overs in Sri Lanka, didn't he?
Right, but James Anderson abroad.
Absolutely fine by me, yeah.
He's all right, isn't he?
Yeah.
He's still okay.
He did well in the Ashes.
He did. He did. Yeah, okay.
And obviously against Sri Lanka.
Do you think that's something he's got better at as he's got older?
I just think he's a class act.
I would agree.
I think he's just a very good international cricketer.
Right, Johnny Bones Jones.
Johnny Bairstow. Interesting because he scored... Johnny Bones Jones.
Pictogram.
It's
okay.
Yeah, no, what is the deal with this pictogram?
No one cares, mate. It's a cricket podcast.
Nah, it's a fight companion and we don't talk about cricket.
Right. Do you want to tell him your idea?
What's my idea? Something with a storyline. Oh, listen, I've been thinking I've got so many different podcast ideas that isn't cricket.
Okay.
You know when you got to take...
Can you tell them the one about the car and the one about the storyline?
Well, the car one is quite good, right? I just want to settle an argument here. The car one...
Yes, we all look for one with a storyline.
The car one... Is there a famous podcast? This is to the listeners at home.
Oh.
Well, because I've already discussed this with you.
So I can't answer this.
Well, you said that you think it's...
Hit us with a question first.
Okay. What about the idea? Is this an original idea, or is the idea good, of you kitting out your car when really you just need a laptop with a longer battery, maybe a portable battery for your laptop, and 2 microphones, and going on a long car journey and doing the podcast, like a heavy podcast, like an hour and a half, 2 hour podcast in the car. So you'll have lots of things about the journey. You might not even be going anywhere, but you've got things to talk about for the podcast as well.
Are you saying that as a podcast of its own?
Yeah, and that's the whole structure of it. Is you're in a car, you're driving somewhere.
I mean, yeah, it's an idea, isn't it?
But what I want to ask the people at home is that been done? 'Cause that's too much of a good idea. Has it been done?
Probably, I don't think so. But like I said to you, I think it's been done for telly, isn't it? Of carpools, of people picking them up and interviewing them as they drive around and stuff.
James Corden and all that stuff, they've done it. But I'm
not sure as a podcast. I think it's probably a bit inconvenient.
Yeah, but I just think you'd get the stories of the podcast and the chat.
And Jamie could sit in the back.
Yes. And then you'd also get the rawness of the car journey, and that would make for some good laughs.
Okay, what's the second idea?
Listen, I don't want to give them all away.
No, you're right.
But the second one will be called something with a story.
Okay, Johnny Bairstow.
Where do you think about Johnny Bon Jovi?
I'm asking you. I've answered the first 3.
Scored 100 in his last game, didn't he?
Okay.
Dropped from the team, and the other wicketkeeper came in, Ben Folkes. He did well.
Yeah, we're not talking about him though.
No, I'm setting the scene for the guys at home.
All right, sorry.
It's been a long winter without any cricket. I know I've struggled.
Okay, Johnny.
So Johnny Bairstow does get gets a go at number 3, and in his first innings he scores 100.
Yeah.
He batted at number 3, in his first innings he does get 100.
You said he's not good enough to play there, though.
No,
You stand by that? I would.
Difficult.
I want him at 4 at the highest, I think,
5
for Johnny.
I would prefer him, but
4 at the highest.
I still think 4's a bit of a push. 5, I'd like him personally.
I think he should be...
He's going to bat number 3, isn't he, in West Indies?
I would like him to be in the team.
It's hard, though.
But it's difficult. It's weird.
Well, I think it's interesting to talk about him. He is one of the main talking points of this team. But we'll probably go through at the end and talk about this team as a whole and who we would set up with.
Yeah.
But Johnny Bairstow at number 3, I do think I'd like to try and get him in, but I don't think number 3 is the position for him. If Joe Root's not going to play there, then you have to have an out-and-out number 3.
I think...
I'm sorry, but you have to have like an opener there, an out-and-out number 3.
Yeah.
Even if it's slow pace, I don't care.
I think Johnny Bairstow will play...
Number 3?
Yeah.
I think he will.
Yeah, if he scores 100 and we haven't got a 3, then he's going to be there, isn't he?
But you got to remember, Owen...
And it's hard to get in the middle order at the moment.
This is the Test series before the Ashes.
Mm-hmm.
We've got this Test series, 1 Test match against Ireland, a World Cup in England, which we'll be going to every game, sponsored by StubHub.
We're not.
Storyline.
I think I think the advantage we have when we play the Ashes in England is the bowling.
Yeah, but we have to find our team that played the Ashes. Perhaps they think
it's
Johnny
pretty much
Bairstow
this, isn't it? It's pretty much this.
Maybe. Do you remember we spoke about a long time ago? But we spoke about Bob Willis's view of not playing the players for their positions, but playing the best 11 players you can get. Is that what England are now doing?
Pretty much. They just pick all wickies, don't they?
Yeah. We'll probably have to come back to Johnny Bairstow. Are you prepared to just leave him for now?
Yeah. Well, I think we covered it, really.
Stuart Broad,
shouldn't be playing for England anymore.
You're not a big... What about in the West Indies? Might be a bit quicker for him.
Honestly.
You think he's hungry? No, he hasn't played cricket for a while?
No. I don't think that... he doesn't... He's not good enough.
What's the deal with Stuart Broad then for you? Is he
just bowls short. He just bowls short all the time. And then once a year, he pitches the ball up, takes 7 wickets, and then everyone's like, he's amazing. And then he stays in the team.
Is the reason why he's not performing in the way you'd like him to, is that down to skills, age, mentality, hunger?
It's down to bowling the ball too short.
Why do you think he's doing that?
I don't know. I think he's like a bit too angry, probably. A bit too aggressive and just bowl short all the time. It's like Ben Stokes, just bowl short. Rubbish.
Can't wait to see Stuart Broad back in action. He's one of my favourite players. I think Stuart Broad will
to be honest, he annoys me as well that he should have been such a better batsman.
I think Stuart Broad will ever become a setter.
No.
Who's the next player to become a setter? I got that on Twitter.
James Anderson.
But James Anderson's had a lot of like demerit points and he's been a bit of an angry man.
No, mate.
Still fine?
Definitely. He's England's highest ever wicket taker.
Yeah.
He's definitely the next one. Right.
Rory Burns, continue with his opening batting spot. Obviously, he didn't make that many runs in Sri Lanka. No hundreds from him. Happy to continue looking at
I don't know
Rory?
if we've really got... Yeah, I don't know if there's anyone...
Well, Joe
Not-
Denley
is there
potentially,
anyone
but otherwise, yeah,
knocking on
you're
the
right.
door?
It looks like there's no one in that team, is there, apart from Joe Denley?
So
Unless you do something really weird.
you may as well keep having a look at someone.
After that, Joss Butler.
Yeah, he's got to stay in the side.
Where does he bat then in the team? 5, 6, or 7?
I would personally have him at 6 or 7. I wouldn't want to see him in the top 5.
Do you say Ben Stokes should bat in front of him?
Maybe.
I think Ben Stokes probably should.
Yeah.
I'm happy Joss Butler be one of the players down the bottom of the order to bat with the tail. Almost like Johnny Bairstow did and did it really well. It was a bit
6 or 7 for me. But happy with either. I really wouldn't mind if he's 6 and Stokes 7 or Stokes 7.
Stokes 6.
Yeah, I don't mind which way.
I think it was going to go... Well, we'll talk about it.
I think they'll put Butler at 7.
I think Butler will be 6 and Folkes 7.
All right. Well, yeah. If he goes 6 or 7, I don't mind.
Joss Butler's been a bit of in the last 6, 9, 12 months even? Maybe, yeah, the last 9 months. But
He's done really well.
he's probably been England's best player, isn't he?
I think so.
Especially best batsman.
Yeah, absolutely.
He's been consistent. He has scored a lot of runs. I think he's averaging over 40 in the last 12 months. A player who's got runs and got them looking pretty well in a batting lineup which hasn't scored millions of runs or any real consistencies there. Strange one for Butler because obviously 2 years ago, if you like, 18 months ago, he was a player that was just an ODI player.
Yeah, I think he'd sort of called it a day on playing Test cricket, didn't he?
You could say that this was... I forgot what's Ed Smith, the England selectors, swan song, or no, not his song. That's the wrong word. The thing that's really what's the word? The really thing that's really come off for him. If he's done anything that's been really good, it's been bringing Butler back. I know he's done the same with Rash. After Rash says he doesn't want to ever play red ball cricket again, and brings him back. But I think Joss Butler, I think Ed Smith can be proud of that call.
That's worked, hasn't it?
And a lovely little segue into the next player, Sam Curran, a player who's been up there with Joss Butler as one of the best England players in the last 6 months. Yeah, all-rounder. Sam Curran has been fantastic in all formats.
Yeah,
We're
really
obviously
good.
going to concentrate on the
He
Test.
has to keep his place in the team starting. He has to play.
Sam Curran, I don't think he played all the tests.
He's got to. He has to be playing every game.
Which is going to be interesting because if they're going to play Sam Curran, well, we'll get through how many bowlers they're going to play. But yeah, Sam Curran is a player for me who's he's the third bowler at the moment. I always back Stuart Broad and Jimmy. I know you don't back Broad.
I'd rather have Curran than Broad.
Well, I would rather have all three of them.
True.
Joe Denley of Kent gets another run out. What do you make of Joe Denley? A run out. I mean, like he gets an airplane journey out there. Probably doesn't get a game, which is a shame. A all-rounder as of such, not more of a batsman that can bowl.
Is he meant to be our third opener?
I think he's maybe potentially number 3 as well.
I'd rather have him than Keaton.
Yeah, you don't like Keaton. We'll get on to Keaton. It's difficult with Joe Denley because he's probably not going to play back at home, so he may as well go out, be around the England team. But is it worth looking at him before the Ashes? Not going to have another chance unless he plays against Ireland.
Not if everyone performs. It's not.
I got a feeling that
you don't want to change a winning side. Don't change it.
Looking back at this team, it's a team full of lower order batsmen. It sounds obvious, but
yeah, I think it's just a team. Yeah, because we don't have any other sort of batsmen,
and it's a team. You know, I've said it for the 5th or 6th time on this podcast today. The team that we need to effectively have cemented for our Ashes Test series.
It's not going to be. It's not going to be that much different from this.
In
Is it?
3 Test matches. And I'm sorry, but I'm worried about the players that we're talking about here. Joe Denley. I like Joe Denley. Ben Foakes is the next player. Scored a lot of runs in Sri Lanka. One of England's best batsmen, if not the best batsman in Sri Lanka.
Who are you worried about?
What, so far?
Yeah, as in like what?
Johnny Bairstow at 3. Rory Burns.
Okay, but aside from
Joe
them,
Denley as a backup. Ben Foakes. I am worried about Ben Foakes. It'd be interesting because Sri Lanka, if you could face spin, you were down for runs. And it was slow spin. And Sri Lankan spinners didn't bowl anywhere near as well as England spinners. There was lots of runs out there in Sri Lanka. People were scoring hundreds. Keaton Jennings scored 100.
As far as us having our strongest side, though, I don't think there's we're not picking someone.
I understand what you mean, yeah. But then also, I don't think...
It's like, I know this isn't a great team, but as far as what we've got to pick from...
I'm just worried that... That top three really worries me.
Oh, yeah, we haven't had a top 3 for about 4 or 5 years.
Park Ben Foakes for the moment. Let's talk about those top 3. We've got Rory Burns, Keaton Jennings, and Johnny Bairstow.
More like 7. Isn't it?
That's it.
7 years, pretty much, since we've had a top 3 of Andrew Strauss, Alistair Cook, and Jonathan Trott.
It's a long old time.
Listen to that. What an incredible front 3 that is.
And then, who was number 4? KP?
KP.
Belly 5?
Bell.
Collingwood 6?
Mm.
No,
Joe
does Joe Root get in the back end of that? Was he 5?
No, I don't think he was around then. Incredible team. Anyway, just a bit of reminiscing.
It's nice, that was.
It's weird because...
Want to do more of that?
Then, those players were those were their positions and they came in... Do you know what I mean? Those players played their positions to make the team. This is a load of number 6s spread out to try and make a batting order.
We are in a lull.
I think we're in a lull for top order batsmen.
Yeah.
Like top 4. We're in a real lull of top 4.
We are struggling for out-and-out specialist batsmen.
Yeah.
For specialist roles. I'm sorry, between number 5 and number 7 aren't specialist batsman roles. Not compared to a number 1 to 3.
No.
And we are struggling. Keaton Jennings scored a big 100 in Sri Lanka against spin, but he was the only person to get out to a paceman as well. What do you reckon about Keaton Jennings? I'm sorry, but I don't believe in Keaton Jennings as an England opening batsman. I don't think he's good enough.
No, he's not.
And I think
we know that now as well, but for some reason he's still getting picked.
Here's a question for you. Keaton Jennings, do you want him to do well in the West Indies? Honestly.
No.
It's bad, isn't it?
Because if he does, then he's going to lose us the Ashes.
No, that's what I'm thinking. It's bad, isn't it?
I don't want him to do well because we need to get rid of him sooner so we can have time to find someone else or give someone else a go.
Why do you scratch your head on this podcast?
I don't know. I really want to go. I don't want to go into the Ashes with a new opening batsman.
But we're going to have to. That's happened now. Sorry. There's no way we can't do that.
Yeah.
Why do you scratch your head?
I don't know.
Like your whole head is shaking
nice.
now. But I've never seen you when you're not podcasting.
Yeah.
You're like a little dog.
Yeah, I want to get rid of Keaton Jennings. What I mean is I don't want someone like making their debut in the Ashes, opening the batting.
But unfortunately, if Keaton Jennings doesn't do well, that's exactly what's going to happen. Or Rory Burns. If those two don't perform in this West Indies tour, they might get a game against Ireland, which you're bound to be rain affected, and it's probably going to be early on in the season. I don't know what the date is for that, but that will be a...
So Keaton's a concern.
Keaton's a concern. Rory Burns is a concern, and so is Johnny Bairstow at number 3. What about Ben Foakes then? Is that saving grace? Did really well in Sri Lanka? Okay, so another number 6, 7 we got on the team. But what do you make of Ben Foakes? What's that noise?
I don't know.
What?
You're right, mate.
It's 1:15 in the morning, and we're being.
Is this like what's it called?
This feels like a dream right now.
It's definitely not a dream, mate. There's someone out there with a mask on and a machete.
Well, the door's unlocked. I shouldn't have said that. He's probably listening.
Yeah. Do you want to lock it?
I had a dream actually.
So that would be a horror. How would we get this out? Okay, if he comes in to murder us, all right, what we have to do is
Right. Let's
just say, listen, mate, wait. I'm not stopping you murdering us. You can murder us, but please put the podcast out because we need people
going to bang for views.
And and I'm gonna say, get the saucepan,
frying pan. The one chance you had in the frying pan.
Yeah.
I will die for these barrels.
Yeah. Anyway,
For anyone at home, we just heard it was like knocking.
mate, do you want to lock it?
No, that's fine.
Okay.
The dog's
well,
crying at the door.
If we do die and you're listening to this, then I suggested
What?
locking the door.
Oh, I'm gonna lock it then.
Right. Right, I'm all on my own now. He's gone outside to see who's there. There was a slight scream then. Right. Keto's got to go.
That was ketogenic diet.
Yeah, I've had enough.
Ketosis has got to go.
Yeah, I want to
Get him some carbohydrates. Keaton, yeah. Sorry, let's talk about Ben Folkes and we keep on dodging the question. What do you make of Ben Folkes? Probably
he's
the
going to
best,
stay in the team.
best gloveman in the country?
I don't know, mate. I do not know that. But
Nor do I, but it's what everybody else says.
We've got, right. So I'm more than happy. We've got loads of wicket keepers. Having a wicket keeper is not a problem. Our team are wicket keepers. So I'm happy with him. He can stay in the team. We're going to do an 11 in a minute.
Yeah.
So we'll figure that out then.
I like Ben Folkes. I am worried about these sixes. Not actual sixes over the boundary. I mean, everyone's a number 6. Next player on that list is Jack Leach.
Yeah, and he's actually getting played. And that's
Well,
one of the reasons I don't want Mo and Ali to play. So Jack Leach gets bowled more.
Jack Leach got played in all the games, I think, as one of the 3 spinners.
Do you think we'll play 2 spinners in West Indies?
This is something I think we'll talk about at the end, surely,
I think we will.
because it's a very interesting. We're not going to play 3 spinners. I think we can both.
We won't play 3, but I think we'll play 2.
And do you think Jack Leach should be the number 1?
Yeah. Yes.
Is it
I think people know that now.
Is it between Jack Leach and Mo and Ali? Or is it between Jack Leach and Rash?
What, for number 1? Rashid will never be England's number 1 spinner.
So it's a shootout between. If they're going to play 1 spinner, it's a shootout between Mo and Jack, is it?
Yeah, and Jack has to get it.
Adil Rashid's going to go. He's the third.
Do you know what I could see him doing?
What's that?
They're going to pick Mo and Ali as their spinner because they love him.
Yeah.
And then they'll go as a second spinner for a bit of variation. They're going to put Rashid in there and Jack Leach won't get played.
Won't get another game.
Which is an absolute disgrace if that happens.
I think that is poor. I think I'm at the point now where I would just have not talked about having Mo and Ali in the team as a batsman, but with the amount of wicket keepers we've got in that team, I don't think he has a place if you're going to play one spinner.
Exactly. We've got loads of lower middle order batsmen. You don't need him. Don't need him for his batting.
And his batting hasn't been good recently.
So ever. So his bowling, if you go in him against Jack Leach is a better spin bowler. So you have to pick Jack Leach.
I'm now at the point now of. Do you remember when I don't mind Mo and Ali? Before the Sri Lanka tour, we had a big talk about Mo and Ali, and I said maybe he should be the spinner in England.
I think Mo and Ali is kind of like a Wayne Rooney.
I just think let's just give it to Jack Leach.
It's like it doesn't. Feels like he should be in the team.
Yeah,
but it just makes the team much harder to play, and it doesn't quite work.
And Mo and Ali, that idea of him being a number 6 or 7, that niche he had of coming in and hitting with the tail, but it's gone now.
It's never happened either.
Hey, he
did it once. He did it once against Sri Lanka and England. He got 150 once.
I was at that game.
And then he's got like a couple of 50s. But he's been playing for 10 years now.
So I'm scoring 100 against New Zealand.
Well, we kind of go on pretty smoothly there to Mr. Rashid.
So what? Do you
He
reckon
shouldn't
about
be. He
Rash?
shouldn't be getting a game
But he should go out there.
unless you don't want. Unless we're going to play two spinners and you don't want to play Mo and Ali. You don't want two off spinners. Then, do you know what? Rashid, if we're going to play two, Rashid should always be our second spinner, shouldn't he?
For a variation.
Yeah. If you're going to have two...
Is Jack Leach a left armer?
Yeah. But if you're going to play two...
Can him and Mo be called as variation? One's left, one's right?
But I would rather have Jack Leach and Rashid than Jack Leach and Mo and Ali. Or Mo and Ali and Rashid. If I'm going to pick two spinners, I'd have those two.
Yeah, fair enough. It's interesting. I'm looking forward. I think I've talked a lot, I've backed Mo and Ali a lot, but I also want to back Jack Leach now. I just think
we got to find a spinner.
I think Jack Leach.
Yeah.
Ben Stokes as the next player to play on. Player not a favourite of ours. We don't rate it. But he's gonna surely find himself in this team.
Yeah, he will.
Another player who can fit number 6 perfectly.
Right. He'll get 150 in this series. These are my predictions. He'll get 150.
Yeah.
Okay, and the rest will be nothingy.
Yeah.
And he'll bowl short for the whole time. He'll just be someone who just comes in and bowls an aggressive 4 overs.
In all fairness, he was the only England pace bowler who picked up a few wickets in a single innings. Did he pick up 4 in a single innings? Was it more than that? I can't remember. But he was the one that did look dangerous at one point. Although I do worry about Ben Stokes, how much he can bowl now with being so injury prone. We normally see him as a batsman. I don't know if Ben Stokes, as a batsman, deserves to be in the team as just a batsman.
Absolutely not.
Maybe we're missing something. I do think Ben Stokes should be in the team if he's completely fit. Do think he's got that potential to be a very good player on his day, but we can't have him beating people outside nightclubs anymore. It's just that can't happen.
I'd love to see him in the UFC. I would pay to watch that. I'd love to see
him
that.
versus CM Punk.
No, CM Punk will get battered. Right.
Where does Ben Stokes bat 5 then? Is that too high for Ben Stokes in his team?
Yes. But I don't know where he fits if he doesn't bat there.
He does, yeah.
Where on earth do you put him? There's
That's the
so
problem.
many 6 and 7s.
Yeah.
We're
all at 6s and 7s, if you could say. That should be the name of this podcast. We're all at 6s and 7s.
We're not changing it for how bad the England team are.
No. The
yes,
now.
nice.
We're all at 6s and 7s.
Oh my god,
man!
Why aren't dice 7-sided?
You know, when on a film, when they actually say the name of the film inside the film, the world is not enough.
They never say it in 7, do they?
No,
they probably do actually, but
6s and 7s though.
Ollie Stone, who's that?
Well, I famously said he was about as slow as they come, but he's actually a very fast bowler.
Oh yeah, did we ever actually see him play?
No, but I did. A subscriber / commenter / what do you call it? He's not a follower, a listener of the show. Said I don't know anything about him, and he's a fast bowler, not a medium fast bowler.
Well, they're true. You don't really know anything about
young lad, plays for Warwickshire.
Let's see him. Pick him instead of Stuart Broad. Yeah.
Well, what about Chris Wokes then? Chris Wokes comes out on the team. Obviously, 15-man squad, so there will be at least 4 players who can't play.
So, let me name them for you.
Well, no, let's just talk about Chris Wokes. We haven't seen Chris Wokes for a while.
Well, he's got to play.
Is he better than Sam Curran? Honestly.
No.
Oh.
But I'm not saying he's worse. They're different.
All right, Chris Wokes, Sam Curran, open the batting.
Really probably wouldn't do that badly. Honestly, I don't think they would. Their technique is closer to opening technique than Keaton Jennings.
Here's a question.
I bet you they wouldn't, Bet you they wouldn't do that badly.
Who's closer to a call-up, Ollie Stone or Chris Wokes, to play in an actual test match?
Chris Wokes.
I think Chris Wokes.
I don't think they're even considering picking Ollie Stone for
just like that
for the next test match.
Yeah.
No. Ollie Stone definitely won't play, but Chris Wokes should.
Interesting. Right. We've gone.
But you think differently?
No. I think Chris Wokes is probably edging him.
Edging him?
I'm saying that those two are probably the 2 bowlers that will miss out.
Ollie Stone is probably, out of all of the bowlers, the least likely to bowl.
Yes.
So he's way further back.
Probably Ben Stokes is probably injured, so probably that one. Anyway, we've gone through the 15-man squad that will go to the West Indies. Now we need to talk about positions, bowling lineups, and batting lineups. First off, I'm going to ask you is conditions-wise, how many spinners do you need to go and play a 3-match series against the West Indies?
What, in a starting 11?
Yes.
You don't need more than 2. It's whether you have 2.
Traditionally, West Indies pitches are hard and fairly quick, but they can be roads, and you might need the variation of the spin. It's a difficult one, isn't it? Because I think I was listening to the Jimmy Anderson podcast. He said the last time they went, it was an absolute road that did break up, but it wasn't particularly quick. And he was worried. Well, he was talking about whether if this year they were going to be quick again, if they were going to be traditional.
I think you go by the ground's history, don't you, as to whether you pick 2 or just have 1.
So do you?
If it breaks up late, you probably go with 2. If not, if it's a road, you can't be having 2.
So effectively, do you go horses for courses on the day? Make the choice.
Yeah, not on the day, but for the ground.
Well, you need to have a look at the pitch, don't you?
I suppose, but grounds have histories, don't they?
Yeah, but the history.
They know what happens to them because the strips.
I'm presuming the history
have
for the
a
West
history.
Indies is because they've always loved fast bowlers. Is to have it.
Yeah,
quick
but I think
and
that
hard.
some grounds break up late, whatever they do to them.
Yeah.
It's just the nature of the turf and shit.
Okay, I know this is hard to say, but if you're going to choose, you can't look at the grounds, right? This is just for the podcast. It's purely hypothetical. But you have to choose whether you're going to go with 2 spinners or 1 spinner. What you're going to choose?
1.
Yeah, I'm with you on that.
I would pick 1.
That one going to be Jack Leach?
Yes.
Right then. If you're going to have 1 spinner, let's have a little talk about our teams. They might differ. They might be the same. We can only choose 2 openers from that lineup, can't we, really?
Well,
You can give Joe Denley a go. I don't know if he's
well,
gonna
yeah,
back
that's the
numbers.
only thing. Unless we're so set that we don't want Keaton Jennings, then we may as well pick someone to have a look at him straight away, isn't it? Why put him in the team? If we're picking, why put him in the team if we know we don't want him?
Well, what I would say,
we wouldn't have put him in the squad.
No. But I think for this podcast, we will pick players from the squad. We'll do our teams, which might be different, and then we'll do the ECB team. If I'm honest, out of that squad, you've got to play Keaton Jennings and Rory Burns. You've got to continue playing them. Do you agree? Does Joe Denley get a look in? Or are you going to play something really weird?
I'd play Denley and Burns.
Yeah, Denley and Burns.
I'm not playing Keaton Jennings. I don't want him to play.
Fair enough.
And I don't want him to be England's opener. So why I'd give him another second of play?
No, I might even join you on that.
Let's have a look.
I'm not impressed by
So,
Keaton Jennings.
I'm going to give,
There's been chats. When I say there's been chat, started listening to the Jimmy Anderson podcast.
Does he do a podcast?
Yeah, it's really good. It's called Tailenders. Really good podcast. But he does it with like Greg James from Radio 1, and he's the one that does it.
Right.
Jimmy Anderson just like is there. And they were talking about, do you think that new openers will do better coming into the England team now Alistair Cook's not there, and they've got the pressure of Cookie being there, being Cookie's opening partner? Do you think that plays into it?
No.
Do you think Cookie... It's interesting.
No.
Do you think the pressure of Cookie exists?
No.
Having to come across...
No.
Because
I think it can only help.
Well, Jimmy Anderson said that he thinks it might freshen up that opening partnership, not having someone to come with Cookie, having effectively 2 new guys slog it out.
I don't think so. That's like saying you don't want James Anderson bowling from the other end when you're bowling. Like, why? Why would you not want that?
I completely understand that.
And it's like walking out to bat for your first time for England. Do you want to be walking out with someone else who's having their first game for England as well?
Who's nervous.
What is this?
But then I suppose you're always thinking, can I live up to that? That's big
And
shoes to fill, isn't it?
also, if you're going out with someone else who's new, you're competing for the same spot.
Yeah.
Whereas if you're going out with Alistair Cook, you're like, this is my position. If I play well, I've got this position.
Yeah. But then I suppose competition and all that. But I think I don't.
No, I think
Both has its pros and cons. I don't really care.
I don't think Alistair Cook has a con.
Number 3 then, Owen.
But I've never played international cricket, so there you go.
Number 3?
If I'm picking...
Joe Root.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm with you. How's the ECB going to do it, though?
Hey?
I'm saying so if we're going to agree on a team so far, we've got Rory Burns, Joe Denley, Joe Root.
Yeah.
The ECB are going to go Rory Burns, Keaton Jennings, Johnny Bairstow, aren't they?
Yeah.
That's their front 3, which I don't agree with, but...
Well, we've only got one of them there.
Yes.
We've picked 1 out of 3 that will play.
The ECB's number 4 will be Joe Root.
Yeah.
Joe Root obviously prefers to play number 4, but I just think for the moment, until we get something sorted out, he has to play number 3. I'm not saying it has to be long term, but you're going to ruin careers by not.
I don't know why it wouldn't be long term, but anyway.
If he doesn't like it, he doesn't like it. But I just
he's
think
not going to play there if he doesn't like it.
But I think for the short term, he has to just
he won't
pull up his socks and say, "I'll do it."
I think he did try for a little bit, didn't he? And then he cried off.
Barely.
Okay, who are you going to pick up for? It's quite tricky, actually.
Out of that team,
it's quite hard, actually.
I think I'm going to drop Moeen Ali, so I don't think I'm thinking of him as a batsman. I'm not going to play Keaton Jennings at all, so he's not going to be another batting option. What other batting options have I got? I've got the wicket keepers.
You got Johnny Bairstow.
So I've got the wicket keepers and I've got Ben Stokes, haven't I?
I still don't count him as a wickie, which is weird.
Who's that?
Bairstow. I don't think of him as a wicket keeper.
Well, it's going to have to be Johnny Bairstow by number 4.
Who were your other options? Who were you thinking?
So I think the only options on that list is Keaton Jennings.
Stokes
isn't going to play, is he?
No, he's an opener,
exactly.
So you definitely can't play him 4.
We're playing Joe Denley, which Joe Denley could probably play 4 if he wasn't going to open, but we are opening with him. It has to be, it's the wicket keepers or Ben Stokes. I just think Johnny Bairstow is probably the best batsman there.
Yeah. I said I wanted him at 5, but I can't think of who I want.
There's no one in that team.
Who I would prefer at 4.
What about Joe Denley at 4?
No, I'm not. No.
You just can't bring yourself to Keaton.
No. I'll put Johnny 4.
Obviously, ECB will bat Root at 4. Number 5, Stokes, which I think we might share that with.
Yeah,
the ECB.
That's probably
5 all round.
I think I probably
would have. Is that too high for Ben Stokes?
5. Yes, but again,
we've got a team for 6s and 7s.
I don't know. Butler could play 5.
What about 6s and 7s?
That's the problem.
That's a good riff we got going on there.
I don't know. Do I play Stokes 6, put Butler 5?
No, I think
that seems like a mistake, doesn't it?
Ben Stokes
doesn't
5.
sound right saying that.
Ben Stokes 5. ECB will probably do the same. Josh Butler 6.
Yeah.
ECB will do the same.
It should do.
And Folk 7.
Yeah.
Is there room to swap those 2 round?
There is, but I think the wiki should be 7.
Yeah, you happy with that, are you?
So, yeah. It's weird that. I feel like that a wicket keeper has to bat 7 in a test team, which they definitely don't, but I don't know why I've got that.
Who's your number 8 going to be? Curran? Got to be.
Yeah, Sam Curran at 8.
I don't think the ECB are going to go down that route. Guess who I think the ECB are going to put at number 8?
Moeen Ali.
Yep.
Yeah, I know.
Our number 9. We've actually agreed on this pretty much throughout. Our number 9.
Okay.
I can hear noises from outside again, Aaron.
You're losing your mind, you are.
No, well, like, you've got to go out there.
You've been on the green, you have.
What about if it's, what was that thing that you used to say when I lived in that house in the countryside?
What?
Bilbo? No, not Bilbo.
What are you talking
The bloke
about?
who lives in the hills.
Buffalo Bill.
Buffalo Bill.
Do you know?
You used to say, what would you do if Buffalo Bill was at the bottom of your...
Do you know who that is?
Who?
Buffalo Bill. It's a real person. It's a serial killer. That's the guy from Silence of the Lambs. You ever seen that?
Is it? Is it based on a real person? What did Buffalo Bill do?
He kept people in his...
You told me there was a person in our village called Buffalo.
No, that is not true.
And you used to see him walking the dog at like weird times in the night.
No, it's not true at all.
Can you tell me the real story of Buffalo Bill?
Buffalo Bill's a bloke who kept women in his basement and skinned them and tried to make suits out of them.
That's
what Silence of the Lambs film's about.
I've never watched it.
Well, it's not. Well, he is the serial killer in it, but the
That's
guy does
gross,
exist.
Man. That's so gross.
Yeah, but there are some nasty people out there.
Like, how can you go from...
As in out there, as in outside the door.
Yeah, no, what's going on? The light hasn't come on, so that's telling me that someone's not looking through.
No, that just means they've cut the wire.
Yeah, very true.
Right, should we get on with this?
Well, the door's locked.
I'm sleeping.
Where did we get to? Number
I
8.
don't know, mate, I'm scared.
Current 8.
It's the number 9. Who do you have at 9?
ECB will play Sam Curran at 9 because Moan Ali will bat number 8 for them.
No. Oh, sorry, yes.
We've got... Let's have a look at the bowling options we've got. We don't want Moan Ali, do we?
I'm not having him.
I don't want him either. If you don't want him, I don't want him. Simple as that. We've got Jack Leach, probably too high for him. We've got Chris Wokes. You going to give Chris Wokes a game?
My guess is you're going to go Broad, Leach, Anderson.
Yes.
If everyone's fit, I go Wokes, Leach, Anderson.
So you choose Wokes over
Broad.
How do you think the ECB will go? Same as me?
Yeah.
Same as me, isn't it?
Yeah.
No. Same as me, but without Leach. So it'll just be Jimmy Anderson 10. No,
Oh, yes.
Jimmy Anderson
Pitt
11.
Moan Ali.
Broad 10.
Right, yeah.
But I've gone with Leach instead of the old shift up one.
Well, to be honest,
It's not,
if Chris
teams
Wokes isn't fit, I'd pick Stone.
So you really don't think Stuart Broad's got a...
I want to have a look at him. If he is really quick, then he'd be good for the Ashes. I want to see him.
What about Tim Bresnan?
I'd have him in my team
Would you?
every game.
Smells,
yeah.
though. Smells.
Well, yeah, but I'm watching on the telly.
Stop tapping your feet. People don't know it's 22 in the morning.
They do. You keep saying about the time.
Well, I need people, if something happens, they need to know.
How many test matches are we playing in this series?
There are 3 test matches in this series.
If you're going to throw out a prediction right now,
Yeah.
what would it be?
3-0 England.
2-1. 2-1 England.
Do you remember last time we played West Indies and we got loads of flack in the comments?
Yeah.
Saying that we didn't respect them?
It's because, well, we were giving them some hard rip, and then they beat us in one.
Yes. And that was that day. Was that day-night game?
It could have been. They don't count, do they?
No.
Listen, we've had this argument before. We can play day-night matches,
You said
but that is a separate format.
Right, let's leave that. You going 2-1, I'm going 3-0.
Okay.
Any success stories? Any failures? Can you give us your
I want
flop
Jack
and your
I
drop?
I want Jack Leach to go well.
You want or you think?
I don't know because I don't know.
We don't know if he's going to get a game,
I
do we?
don't know the pitches.
Yeah, and we don't know.
But if the pitches are spinning, I think he'll do well.
Yeah.
I think I need the team sheet up. It's just switched off.
There you go.
I think.
Are we going to see Ollie Stone?
No, I don't think so. Unless there's injury.
Are we going to see Joe Dunley?
No,
I don't think we'll see Joe Dunley. I just don't think we'll see him.
I think Folks will cement a spot.
Really? That's nice to hear. How do you think Johnny Bairstow will get on at 3? If they're quick pitches, that he might like that.
Yeah, I don't know.
Does it swing in the West Indies though?
Not particularly.
Or is it just seam?
Yeah, I don't think it swings.
Seam and quick,
I don't think
it
swings that much.
Big series for Joe Root. How do you think he's going to go?
He'll get a couple of 50s.
Yeah?
Yeah.
True Joe Root.
I think he'll just maintain his average.
My tip for the series will be Sam Curran with the bat.
Yeah, pretty safe, I think.
Alongside Josh Butler, I think he's going to do
It's kind of
well.
hard to say Sam Curran with the bat because he doesn't have... Although I think he will do well, as low as he bats, he doesn't have to do that well for him to have done well.
That's right.
Do you know what I mean? It's quite a safe pick, isn't it? Because he's so good.
Yeah.
He probably will do the best for his position.
I think Butler and Curran will do really well with the bat. I think there could be partnerships between both of them.
I think Folks is going to do well.
Yeah, I'll be looking forward to seeing that. My bowling tops will be Stuart Broad will come back and play extremely well. Alongside Jimmy Anderson, I think the 2 old boys will play really well out there. My flops, You're giving you my tops, and now I'm giving you my
Okay.
flops. All at sixes and sevens.
Yeah, right.
My flops are going to be Keaton Jennings.
Yeah, that's a safe one. So nasty, isn't it?
Keaton Jennings. And part of me wants to say Ben Stokes. How do you think Stokes is going to do, though?
He'll be fine.
It could be a good series for Stokes. He might like it.
I think he'll be fine.
You might get a bit of luck with the bat and the ball out there. Keaton Jennings, I don't think he could play against pace. And to be honest with you, Rory Burns, I'm going to call it a flop as well. Might be a bit of a cop out.
Okay.
No, actually, Moen Ali will be a flop because ECB will play him. I don't think he deserves. The mic stopped, but anyway, that is a good place. We don't know where we've dropped off, but we will end the podcast there.
Yeah.
If you've enjoyed this podcast, give it a like. Subscribe if you are new. New cricket content every single week, hopefully. We've been away for a while, but we're getting back into the swing of things.
Doesn't matter now.
We've been on a Christmas break.
Yeah.
Hopefully, when new equipment comes, we will be able to do more international cricket captain. But for now, it is a goodbye from me.
Have a good one.
And a goodbye from...
I hope you enjoy it.
Him.
Because if you don't, then we'll stop doing it. But really, we do it because you enjoy you should enjoy it. But if you don't, then we'll stop.
The door's opening.